Hi guys, Michael Califf, author of A Very Broken System. As expected, after the horrendous crime stats that have just been released in Victoria, another 14% up on last year's 30% up, and the year before's 30% up. So we're already at the worst crime statistics since 1992, either last year or the year before. Now we're another 15% up on that, and a lot of it gets thrown on the youth, which is a nonsense. Organised crime is through the roof. Drug dealing is through the roof. Literally, the only drug dealers that the police go after are the ones who have embarrassed them. That is how bad it is. I've personally seen where police just turn a blind eye to ridiculous amounts of drugs, even guns in one example, because the person was a large-scale drug dealer in Victoria who worked with them, so to speak. So all that is a nonsense, that it is just 1,000 youth and whatnot that is plaguing, turning Victoria into the mess that it's in. You've got organised crime literally running the billion-dollar building projects. Oh yeah, it's 1,000 children. The 1,000 children is what you can see. You don't see the mess, the utter mess you can't see. You don't see the what leads to that, which is what gets me. Until we deal with this nonsense that is glorifying gang culture, that is glorifying. How are you going to tell a 13-year-old disenfranchised youth that crime doesn't pay when you've got drug dealers rocking the gold teeth? One drug import, they go from zero, they go from a rooming house, literally living under a bridge, to $160 million. Like that. One drug import, that's all it takes. So all they have to do is organise, say, yes, no problem, I'll take the chance. Out of the 1% that doesn't get arrested, I'll take the chance. Get the drop sent to me, please. We'll go halves in it. They go from zero to $160 million in drugs, and you're going to sit there scratching your head like, oh yeah, gee, we got to do this, and oh, you know what happens? Like, if we do this, oh well, gosh, like Les Twentyman said that, we're going to make them worse. Like, it's a nonsense, and it is a bloody angry nonsense, because you've been iterating through it because politicians are too scared to make decisions that need to be made. People ring up 3AW and they're like, yeah, why don't you just build a prison the size of the Pentagon? I'll remind you of something, ladies and gentlemen. America is, if you can't take this example, you're crazy. America is the best example Australia could have. It has the most prisons, the most police, the most guns, the most law enforcement, the most pit bull O'Halloran prosecutors. It's got it all. The Wild West over there in America. Hey, they got more law enforcement than law enforcement, okay? Don't you worry about that. And now, they've even got Alligator Alley down there, It may have flooded, but they've got alligator. They got law enforcement on top of law enforcement. But you know what else they've got? They've got the worst crime by a country mile. Why? Because they're still iterating through the nonsense that is prohibition. And who has the least crime? The nations who have done something progressive when it comes to drugs. It's just a no-brainer. But people can't get it through their head. They're like, I don't want that. Hey, will we have to pay for these drugs? It's crazy. Yet people still just want to iterate through, I don't want that. I don't want no yah being hippie smoking. What if they're off their head driving that forklift? Well, did you know? Well, no, I didn't know until they told me. Well, then what are you worried about then? But I know now. Like, see, it's just petty nonsense and it's costing the community. Snap out of it.